Good morning, students. Let us discuss the next part of the lesson, social movements in our times. Already we have discussed about the social movement. People together fought against the some issues in the previous and now also people fighting against the some issues which are harmful to them. Okay, example, recent social movement is farmers movement against the farmers acts implemented by the central government. So already we have discussed in the earlier class about civil rights movements in America, okay, human rights movements in USSR, and anti-nuclear and anti-war movements throughout the world. Okay, so later globalization marginalized people and environmental movements. Already you know that globalization. So because of World Trade Organization, so introduced this system globalization. So because of globalization, all the country people throughout the world, any person can sell their goods in any country without any hindrance, and any company can open their branches in different countries. Any person can go and establish their companies or organizations in different countries. Okay, so every country can export their products, excess products, to any country without any objection. So this is the meaning of globalization. Because of globalization, so the total world became a small village. So we can communicate, we can send, we can go, and we can get goods from anywhere. Okay, that is the meaning of globalization. So globalization affects the lives of the so many people in different countries. Even it affects the environment also. So we will discuss those in this lesson. Okay, so the economic and political changes happening worldwide since 1990s, which go by the name of globalization or neo-liberalism, have deeply impacted the lives of the underprivileged and poor. Especially the poor people were affected more. It is also called neo-liberalism. So what is the meaning of liberalization? So we changed our laws. Okay, we made liberal our laws. Okay, next, tribal people, poor farmers, landless workers, women, urban poor working in the unorganized sector, and industrial workers have been the worst hit. So especially these people were suffered a lot. So skilled persons and educated people got some opportunities. Okay, by and large these are also the people without access to formal education or adequate nutrition and health. As a result, they had no access to better paying jobs or to legal or other constitutional remedies. So during the last few decades, tribal and marginal farmers have also been threatened by the commercial farmers, mining corporations, dam projects, etc. So actually our farmers may use the traditional methods to produce the crops. But here, because of globalization, so different hybrid seeds and different commercial crops entered into our agriculture field, and because of that, tribal and marginal farmers who are not changed, who are unable to change, those were suffered. And not only that, because of mining corporation, because of dams. So these people are forcibly shifted from their homelands, and so many fertile fields also submerged with water. Okay, as the large companies find rare resources in remote rural areas like minerals, rare plants or animals, and water, there has been a rapid increase in the hosting of the farming and tribal population from their traditional areas. So this result in dispersion of the communities into new areas and the destruction of tribal culture. So they were shifted forcibly. Because of that, the tribal people unable to mingle with others, so they lost their culture, language, and way of style. Okay, as a result, they have been reduced to being the most vulnerable sections of the society. Along with this, such process of development have severely threatened the natural resource base, giving rise to environmental movement that seeks to combine the voice of the marginalized with the anger over the destructive and violent nature of these development forces. So because of all these effects, so people started fight against these activities, and they started to protect the environment. Okay, so Greenpeace movement in Europe. So this movement initially started as a protest in 1971 against the American underwater nuclear test near Alaska. So near Alaska, so American government tried to test the nuclear in underwater. So volunteers set out and in a small ship to the test area to protest. So people of those area, Alaska, so started agitation against this, and to stop that. So what they did, they set out in a small ship to the test area to protest. So the ship was named Greenpeace, and this eventually became the name of the movement. So today it is spread over 40 countries with its headquarters in Amsterdam, Holland, and has become an important international non-governmental organization, means NGO. Okay, so like that, they protested against the nuclear test near Alaska. During the last few decades, scientists have discovered that pollution causes the depletion of the protective ozone layer. Already you know that. So ozone layer protect us from UV rays. Okay, so due to pollution, so the ozone layer is damaging. So it cannot absorb the harmful rays from sun. Due to pollution, the average temperature of Earth has been increasing steadily. So our scientists are estimating that within 50 years, so the temperature will be rise up to more 2 degrees. So this is causing melting of polar ice caps, the vast accumulation of water in the form of ice on the two poles. So actually we are having two poles, and another also can call the third pole near west side of India. Sorry. North side of India. So recently that was melt and causes for the sudden floods in the north side. So because of global warming, so already you know that ice may melt. Okay, so it causes the sudden floods. Maybe the water level will be increased. So because of that, if the water level is rise, and oceans will be rise, then so causing submersion of land, so in the coastal areas all over the world. So if the seawater rises up to 5 feet, or 1 or 2 meters, 5 or 6 feet, so it will be damage the most of the areas of coastal areas, like countries like Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Mauritius, India, and Indonesia, where a very large number of people live along with the sea coast, will face severe problem of flooding and submergence. So those must be shifted from there. Okay. Next, even the people living deep inside the continent will not be spared, as the global warming will cause erratic rainfall, so unseasonal rains, excess rains, and droughts, and crop failure. In other words, global climate change will affect those countries whose population particularly depends upon agriculture. So because of global warming, not only the coastal area people, so all countries also affects because of unseasonal rains, excess rains, and droughts. So no one will live happily. Okay, so Greenpeace has taken up the impact of climate change across many countries. It aims at ensuring the ability of the earth to nurture life in all its diversity. Over the years, the movement has developed the idea of sustainable development. What is the meaning of sustainable development? Without disturbing the nature. So that is called sustainable development. So that is development which is environmentally sustainable over a long time, and also just for all people, both of the developed world and the undeveloped world. So next, another moment, Bhopal gas disaster related movements. So this was happened in our country. So this is one of the great tragedy which happened in Bhopal in 1984. So what is the effect of the Bhopal tragedy? So a poisonous gas leaked out of the Union Carbide factory. Later this factory was purchased by Dow company. Thousands of people lost their lives, and many more are still suffering from its ill effects. So I think that was leaked in the night time. So no people found that. So because of that, so many were died. So this was perhaps the worst industrial disaster in the world. So right from the beginning, the people of Bhopal have been fighting for four main demands. So what are those? One is proper medical treatment of the victims. At present also, people are suffering because of that effect. Okay, so they demanded proper medical treatment of the victims. Second demand was adequate compensation for them based on international standards, as the company was a multinational company. So they got compensation based on our laws, but they demanded so compensation as per the international laws. So third one is fixing criminal responsibility for the disaster and the management of the multinational company. So another one is also genuine demand, but was that was not happened. The person, the owner of the company was died recently without facing any legal punishment. Okay, next, and another final one is finally steps to prevent such disasters in the future. So the people who were suffered because of Bhopal gas disaster, they are fighting for these four demands. While now also even now also they did not get the adequate compensation. Even people are suffering with those effects, poisonous gas effects. Okay, so there was no system in our country to punish to them, so need to change some laws in our country. So the protest against this has been even more complex. Since the company itself was based in USA, people today need to use international laws to fight against the problems that the factory workers and women face who are affected by the pollution created by the company. Many people across the globe boycotted products made by the company. Even today, social mobilization continues when the Dow company sponsored Olympics in London. So people across the globe signed a petition against it. Multiple organizations from around the world pointed at the unethical alliance of Olympic body with Dow. So now also people are protesting against this disaster. Next, environmental movements. Even some movements started in our country also. So that is one of the movement was Chipko movement. So we will discuss later about this. So movements against dam on the Narmada river. So building a large multi-purpose dams was an integral part of India's planned development from 1950s. So we introduced a 5 years plan for development that was introduced by Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister. So in the first 5 years plans, we took the major issue is agriculture. So in that plan, so they want to construct a multi-purpose dams. So some of these included large dams like Bakranangal, Hirakud and Nagarjuna Sagar. So in the beginning people were too awestruck by the dams, the huge amounts of water is could store, the vast tract is could irrigate, the amount of electricity it could generate, the floods and droughts it could control or prevent. So those are the aims behind the project. So people also thought that so they may get more benefits through the dams, but so much so that no one asked about what would happen to the people if we construct the dams. So the people who are staying around those areas may be shifted. The fertile lands will be submerged. Okay, so trees, fields and animals who lived in the areas submerged by these dams, thousands of trees and animals and across of fertile fields, acres of fertile fields and people who had been displaced to build these dams were completely ignored. Okay, so those were not given adequate compensation. Okay, so after construction, so what we imagined that was not fulfilled. Okay, dams did not yield adequate results. This was because of The cost of the dams was huge and often it is increased due to delays in construction and price rise. Secondly, they seldom irrigated the amount of land initially proposed to be irrigated or produced as much electricity as projected. This was became the actual amount of water that could be stored in the dams was usually less than what the engineers had assumed. All these questions came up when the government proposed to build a series of major and minor dams across the Narmada River in one of the most ambitious river valley projects in India's history. So later, so the government decided to construct dam on Narmada River. So at the time, the people protested against that project. So people who stood to be displaced from the project demanded a fair compensation, not just to those who owned land, but all those who lived there. So what they demanded? So demanded fair compensation. So not only who are having the lands, so other people who are living, who are depending on agriculture, means agriculture labor also should get the compensation. They also demand proper rehabilitation with land in return for the land lost and also afforestation to compensate for the loss of forest under the dam. So soon people realized two things, that there was actually no adequate land available to compensate for the loss and that it was really not possible to rehabilitate all the displaced people properly. They demanded land in another place. So, but that is not possible. Next, secondly, people began to realize that the problem was not the question of compensation or rehabilitation, but one of faulty notion of development. So, so people fought against the dam. So the leaders of the movement decided to oppose the very construction of the dams. So Baba, Malaviya and some other leaders participated in this movement. So he was part of the Narmada Bachao Andolan (NBA) that organized people's movement in the Narmada Valley against the dam. Initially, the Sardar Sarovar project was expected to be built with money borrowed from World Bank. After intense protests, mobilization, marches, hunger fasts, and an international campaign, World Bank decided to withdraw its funding. So, even though we are unable to stop the construction of Narmada dam, okay, so though it failed in its attempt to stopping the building of Sardar Sarovar Dam, the NBA movement succeeded in forcing everyone to think about the nature of development, whether it was in the interest of the poor or the rich and powerful. It succeeded in forcing everyone to rethink about the utility of large construction projects that interfered with nature on such a large scale. It forced governments to consider giving adequate and respectable compensation for such development induced displacement of people. So, because of this protest, people started thinking about the sustainable development and environmental damages and all those. Okay, so the NBA movement combines in itself many stands, like the movement of indigenous people, movement against neoliberal policies, struggle of farmers to hold on to their land as attempts are being made to take them over for dams, urbanization, industries, mines and forests. Okay, so at that time, State of India's Environment, so CSE, Center for Science and Environment, So it is one of the first environmental study group. So that was founded by Anil Agarwal in 1980. So that was one of the India's first NGO to study environmental and developmental issues in India and build awareness about these problems. So the main aim of this CSE, so study the environmental and development, the relation between environmental and development. Because of that, the problems of the people. So it began with the publication of its famous series Citizens Report of State of India's Environment in 1982, and those reports have become authoritative references on various environmental issues facing the country today. Visit its website www.cscindia.org to know more about its work and issues studied by it. Next, Silent Valley movement. Another movement was started in India, especially in Kerala state, between 1973-85. So when it was proposed to build a dam across two rivers flowing in the Silent Valley in Western Ghats in Kerala. So government tried to construct a dam across the two rivers in Silent Valley in Western Ghats, Kerala. Many educated people realized that this would be disastrous for the rare species of animals and plants that lived in that valley. So these included one of the most endangered primate species, the lion-tailed macaque. So lion-tailed macaque, so one kind of a monkey. So gradually a major movement developed against the dams and in favor of saving the Silent Valley. So people across the state were mobilized by the Kerala Shastra Sahitya Parishad, KSSP, an organization working for popularization of science and learning among common people. So they went to the court and appealed against clear felling of trees in the project area, and Kerala High Court ordered stopping of clear felling. In view of the severe protests, the government finally decided to give up the dam project and convert the Silent Valley into a national park in 1985. So finally, government gave up the idea, and that was converted as a national park. Like that, so people together protect that valley and the rare species and animals also. So like that, so many social movements began in our country also. So next part we will discuss in the next class. Thank you.